Happy Monday, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Dana Neeson, and if you were just now finding this channel, I run a telesales team for Tailored Legacy. We sell final expense life insurance over the phone with just one carrier, Lincoln Heritage. My job is to help you have stronger, more sophisticated sales conversations. And today I'm going to tell you how to get fired from Tailored Legacy. It's actually really hard to get fired from here, but I'm going to give you an idea of what it would take in order to get the boot. All that and more today on Final Expense Telesales. Every now and then I like to give you a little insight of the inner workings of this team, how we bring people in, as well as how we might let them go. And every Friday, I take several hours and I pull up some data, I pull up the numbers, I look at who's gone through the most amount of contacts with the least amount of sales. That typically gives me a clue that I should probably start listening to those calls first and work my way down. And every Friday, without fail, I always find people that just go rogue. Ironically, these same people don't attend training, don't ask for help, don't follow the process, and they certainly don't follow the script. And if you are going to go through that many contacts without even asking for help, for thinking that you're better than everybody else, or for just having a blatant disregard for the opportunity that you've been provided and treating it like, I don't even know what you're treating it like. There's not even a word I have for it. The end result, you will not be welcome on this team anymore. There is a super high turnover in the life insurance industry already. There is already so much working against you. Getting a high volume of leads, knowing what to say in the first 30 seconds, knowing that it's not you. You cannot take it personal. There's just sales resistance in telesales, regardless of the industry. Then taking somebody skillfully through a sales call, through discovery and education and problem awareness and quoting correctly and offering options and overcoming concerns at the end. Like that by itself is a lot. But to just come in and to just basically take what we've created and thrown it in the trash can is a surefire way to end your career here very soon. So I thought I would play some recordings for you of what that sounds like. You can tell me if I'm crazy or not, because apparently there are some people out there that think I'm a little bit crazy and a little bit too strict. So before I play you those recordings, I'm going to tell you what our script says for our introduction. Everybody needs to be on the same page. We followed the same process, the same script. We are all doing the same thing, okay, so to speak. Nobody's trying to reinvent the wheel here. The wheel has been created and it works just fine. So our outbound call introduction goes something like this. Hi, Mary. Hey, Mary, this is just Dana calling, and I was reaching out because I noticed you may have clicked something online about putting some protection in place for you and your family from out-of-pocket funeral expenses, and I just had a chance to get back to you to see if I could help. Pause for the objection, you will get one, and then know how to skillfully overcome that and move the conversation forward, which we will save for a different video. So now that you know what that is, let me play a couple of recordings for you of what that isn't.
Hello, Angel?
Yes.
This is Luke with Lincoln Heritage. You're looking to get yourself covered, correct?
No.
Okay, we do have you listed here as looking at some final expense coverage. Did something change since the time you inquired?
Coverage for what?
Final expense coverage?
For death?
Yes, final expense. You were
No,
on our website.
I believe that's for my dad, and he's already passed away. Thank you so much.
I got you. Alrighty, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
All right, we're going to have to unpack that for a second. Let's play that again.
Hello, Angel?
Yes.
This is Luke with Lincoln Heritage. You're looking to get yourself covered, correct?
This is Luke from Lincoln Heritage. You're looking to get yourself covered, correct? Okay. The whole point of the introduction in the first 30 seconds is to A, create some curiosity and familiarity. Notice I didn't provide a company name in my intro. This is just Dana calling, which means you might know who I am. I'm coming in very casually. Second part, I notice you may have requested some information to possibly put protection in place for you and your family for out-of-pocket funeral expenses. And I just had a chance to get back to you to see if I could help. Okay, warm and fuzzy, we're giving them a virtual hug, but we're also not shoving their inquiry down their throat and trying to hold them accountable. That also causes massive sales resistance. What we're doing here is literally, you did this, right? In a very aggressive way, I might add.
No.
Okay, we do have you listed here as looking at some final expense coverage. Did something change since the time you inquired?
Second time, also trying to hold them accountable to the inquiry. When you first get your first objection, that's not uncommon, right? We want to validate the fact that they may not remember, or they're resistant to our approach. That's not uncommon. It looks like you may have clicked something online about, with one of our partners about possibly putting some protection in place for final expenses. Does maybe that ring a bell? Just kind of restating it in a different way and then asking a question, not being very aggressive and hyper laser focused on the inquiry itself.
Coverage for what?
Final expense coverage?
Jeez.
For death?
Yes, final expense. You were
No.
on our website.
Third time, you did this, you did this, you were on our website. You're not going to be successful anywhere with that type of approach.
I believe that's for my dad, and he's already passed away. Thank you.
Now, had we not been so aggressive in the beginning, we actually may have had an opportunity to have a conversation with her, because she literally just experienced the loss of a parent and might know a thing or two about what it costs to pay for somebody's funeral. And would you maybe open to having a conversation about that so that your family doesn't have to come out of pocket if something were to happen to you? You know how many policies we sell when we call and somebody who was on the inquiry had passed away, but the person that answered the phone is the one that inquired? A lot. There is a lot of opportunity there. Just because the person who answered the phone isn't the name on the inquiry doesn't mean that it's a lost opportunity. It's quite the opposite. The person that inquired is normally the decision maker, and that's who we want to speak to anyways. So, total missed opportunity there. I'm going to give you another example from a different agent, someone who I said goodbye to, and we'll analyze that one as well.
Hello, may I speak to Eddie?
This is him.
Hi, Eddie. My name is Stacy, and I'm calling with Lincoln Heritage in regards to coverage for yourself, or your family. Are you currently insured with life insurance?
Yes.
Are you satisfied with the policy that you currently have?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Okay. Would you like to see if you qualify with our company for a little more coverage?
No, I'm okay.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you.
All right, so we're going to do the same thing again that we just did with the last call, and we're going to break this one down. Starting with the intro, right? This is Stacy from Lincoln Heritage. The tonality was a little softer. It was definitely a little bit better than the first call we listened to, but the words of what we say are quite the opposite of what we teach.
Hello, may I speak to Eddie?
This is him.
Hi, Eddie. My name is Stacy, and I'm calling with Lincoln Heritage in regards to coverage for yourself, or your family. Are you currently insured with life insurance?
Are you currently insured with life insurance? Like, I don't even know where that question even came from because it was not what was written down for her. Okay, so I don't even say the words life insurance in the intro because a true sales professional starts the vision of what the product outcome provides, not the product itself. This person is selling the product, the life insurance, not protection from your family from out-of-pocket funeral expenses if something were to happen to you. In fact, I wait for the person to ask me, oh, do you mean life insurance? And then just confirm, yes, you know, when someone passes away and there's a lot of emotion and financial stress, we help ease that burden by helping families have the money they need to pay for those final expenses. And always outcome-based, focused. That's where your mind has to be, because you have to start picturing why they even want it in the first place. If all we're doing is promoting product, not outcome, you're going to be surface the whole time. And even if this agent was able to get someone in a conversation, I guarantee you this would be straight into health questions, price-based focused, and definitely not someone that is going to be taking a deep dive.
Yes.
Are you satisfied with the policy that you currently have?
Okay, so when someone says they've already taken care of it, our response that we teach that is on the script says, oh, that's not a problem. How long ago did you get it? Okay, so we want to kind of gauge if it was a recent inquiry, if they recently purchased, what's the window of time that we missed? Do we maybe have an opportunity for replacement? Or is it more a policy review with the value add with what we have to provide? That's why we ask the question, so we can start to game plan.
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Okay. Would you like to see if you qualify with our company for a little more coverage?
That's another not the best question I would ask, because we don't even know if having more coverage is what they want, if they can afford it. It's kind of a gamble. We're just hoping that something we say will make them say yes. If they say, I just got it 2 months ago, oh, perfect. Well, while I have you on the phone, would it be reasonable to offer you one more quote just to be sure that you have the best policy available? I'm not even talking about price, because I'm talking about the policy and everything that it encompasses within it.
Okay, thank you for your time.
All right, thank you.
And then thank you for your time. I never want to be the first one that says goodbye. I'm always fighting for that extra another minute or two staying on the phone. But there really isn't anywhere to go if you're asking the types of questions that just lead you into a sinkhole. So, she really didn't have any other choice because she's not following the sales process. Now, there are some cases where people are still going through hundreds of leads and not getting sales, but they're at least trying. They're at least respecting the process that we have in place, and there isn't just a blatant disregard of what we have put in place for someone. And in those cases, usually those people are asking for help. They're coming to training. They are asking for help on their calls. They're booking one-on-one calls. They're very active and engaged in asking questions on our group chat. And even though both people are getting the same results, which is not a lot or nothing, I am more inclined to keep the person that is at least trying, that is at least showing us that they want to follow the process, and I have something tangible to work with. I will keep those people on the team, because it's not just about numbers. To me, it's not just about you went through this many leads, you didn't close this many sales, you don't have a position here anymore. I'm not that ruthless. You have to at least show me that you're putting in the effort in the form of what we're trying to teach. If you just go rogue and you just think you know better and you do it on your own and you treat this like a massive numbers game, that's when I have a problem with it. And I don't give second chances in those scenarios. Now let's listen to another new agent that is actually trying to follow the sales process, and we'll hear the difference of what that sounds like.
Hey, Robert.
Yes.
Yeah, Robert, this is just Griffin calling. I noticed that you recently inquired a possible look at some coverage for you and your family, and I just had a chance to get back to see if I could help. You remember filling that out?
I can barely hear what you're saying.
Well, it looks like you might have filled something out online to possibly protect your family from out-of-pocket funeral expenses. Does that ring a bell at all?
Robert?
I didn't listen to this call before I played it, but I had a feeling that this agent was going to at least follow the sales process because he's having some pretty good results on the team so far. I hope you can see the big difference between the first two agents that I played and the third agent that I played rather. Now, another reason that you may not make it on this team goes beyond the first 30 seconds. In fact, we recently parted ways with someone who was doing a decent job in the first 30 seconds in discovery. He decided to use a script that he got from a different company that was also NEPQ based and use it here. And unfortunately, that did not end in good results for him either. When you take somebody else's script or something else that you like or that you think works for you, and you bring it to a team that's providing you free leads, you do not get the option to do whatever you want. You just don't. You are an independent contractor, but part of the benefit of having the opportunity to take an unlimited amount of leads is to follow the process that has been proven to work by the people that came before you and developed it. The call that you're going to listen to now is this person that was doing an okay job in discovery, was with our team for a few weeks. Again, never asked for help, never came to coaching calls, never came to training, never reached out to the management team to see what he might be doing wrong. And in fact, was already planning on leaving on his own accord because he wasn't making any money. Well, why do you think he wasn't making any money? It had nothing to do with the leads or the opportunity or our systems or anything that we do. It was because he decided to reinvent the wheel and the wheel didn't work. How we teach the sales process is very, very specific here. I mean, it's so specific, I even call it surgical. We have our discovery process, and discovery is not where the sale takes place, okay? Discovery is not for us where the sale takes place. Discovery is for discovering why we are on the phone with someone. Where have they been? Why are they wanting to take care of something now? Have they ever had insurance before? What has prevented them from putting something in place? Right? What expenses are they concerned about making sure get taken care of? Are they wanting funeral arrangements as part of that? Do they want burial? Do they want cremation? Like, who's going to be their beneficiary? Have they thought about the consequences of not doing something? So we're discovering, okay? I want you to know that, because all we're doing is information gathering, and we're figuring out how we're going to take that information and use it to help educate them, how to use it when we talk about the Funeral Consumer Guardian Society and how we're going to protect someone's family. And then once we go through all of that, do we then go into health questions, figure out what someone qualifies for, and go into the close? And if you're comfortable with the script, with the sales process, you should never get somebody that's rushing you to a price. In fact, I shared with my team this morning that here's one of the reasons why somebody would rush you to a price. You ask a question, they give you an answer. Your response then is, okay, all right, so let's see. Okay, next question. Because you're trying to find your place. And when you're trying to find your place and you're unsure about the next thing you should say, it makes people uncomfortable and unsure of you as the expert. Therefore, they want to rush you to the price because you're taking too long to even figure out what you want to say next, okay? That's the reason why people push you for a price, not because your script is long. So we're going to listen to this call, which is somebody that I encouraged to ask for help. Please ask for help. I haven't seen you in training. I haven't seen you in coaching. You haven't asked for help on your sales calls. I hear some potential in your discovery process, but you're not following what we teach. Instead, this person chose to walk away because he had already wasted so much time that he wasn't making any money. So here we go.
Hello?
Hi, is this Isabel?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Isabel. This is just Tony. I'm a licensed agent in the state of California. I'm guessing you were possibly looking for some coverage for you and your family.
Yes, I am, but I was, I don't know if I qualify or not because of my age.
Okay. And what year were you born?
45,
45. So that makes you 79. Is that correct?
78.
Okay, 78. So 78, you still do qualify. There are a few health questions, though.
I'm in good health.
Okay. So then that means that you would most likely qualify, yeah. And as far as that goes, though,
I'm going to just pause right here really quick since we're going to be listening to this call anyways. I'm not quite sure I would just drop my cards and say you would most likely qualify. I would be more inclined to say you're not totally out of luck yet. With, a lot of companies can offer insurance up until the age of 85. I guess if I could help you with something, would that be something you'd be interested in? Like still kind of asking those old school, if I could, would you, to gauge someone to want to lean in and know more to find out if they do, as opposed to just kind of saying, yes, I can help you. Just sounds a little desperate to me.
probably ask before I go into the coverage options and things like that, just to see if this is something that would even work for you. What was kind of the reason you kind of started looking into some coverage for your family in the first place?
Well, I was just looking at my phone and I saw your ad. That's why.
Okay, and what kind of like expenses were you maybe like most concerned about your family?
I would have probably said, and what about the ad piqued your interest and caused you to learn more, right? Like, let's figure out what's on the ad. And again, this agent is doing a fairly good job at discovery compared to other newer agents that come on the team. I'm just being very picky right now because we're here. Why not analyze it?
Family having to pay for like when you pass.
Just about 10,000, nothing big.
Okay, and it would be 10,000 for what, like funeral expenses or like for something else?
For something else, whatever, it's needed for, pay up the bills or whatever. I don't know.
Oh, okay, so you're not looking to cover the funeral then, just leave
no, I already
for, like,
have
bills,
cremation.
like
I'm doing
okay,
cremation.
I see. Okay, so you got that prepaid already. Okay, got
yes.
it. Okay, and so is this just something extra, just so that the
yes.
family is taken care of?
Yes.
Okay, got
correct.
It. And and I don't think I asked them. Do you have children, a husband, or who are you looking to kind of leave this to?
Yeah, they're already grown. I have 3 biological, and I adopted 5 children.
Oh wow, okay. And so were you kind of just looking to leave 10,000 to all of them, or to who?
No, just one person.
Okay, and who is that?
My granddaughter.
Okay,
I adopted her. She was one of the ones that I adopted.
Oh, okay, wow. I mean, well, she's lucky to have a mother like you. I mean, selfless
Thank
enough
you.
to first off adopt her in the first place, and then also now think about taking that burden off of her. I mean, so that she doesn't have to kind of go through that unexpected stress,
Correct.
or just leave a little bit something behind for her.
Correct.
Because a lot of people I talk to, some of them, they don't mind kind of not leaving anything behind, right, for their kids, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, can I ask, like, how come this is so important to you?
Because I know that she needs it. She's only 27 years old.
How do you mean by she needs it?
Well, she'll probably need it, to pay off my bills or whatever,
Oh, okay. So what kind of bills do you have to pay off?
Just simple ones, nothing big.
Okay. I mean, just so I can kind of see the rationale, besides maybe just because you mentioned that they're not too big bills, what's kind of the rationale behind maybe looking into like insurance rather than maybe just saving some money up in a savings account for those bills?
Well, that too, but I was just, trying to get info.
And okay. So I mean, why? Because it sounds like you don't really have a lot of bills. I mean, why even kind of look into this kind of thing?
Because I want to leave something for my granddaughter.
Okay. And so before today, have you kind of been out there like looking around for some
Yes.
protection to leave behind
Yes,
for?
but it's too expensive.
Ah, okay. So you actually got some quotes, and they just sounds like they came back too expensive for you.
Yes,
Okay, and you looked into $10,000 wherever you went.
yes.
Okay. Okay. So as far as that, and what were they actually quoting you at for that much?
They were quoting me for 180, 210. It was high.
Wow. 210. Wow. I mean, well, yeah, I'm sure you're aware. I mean, if you are 78, the price
Yeah,
goes higher
because
as
of
you
my
get
age.
older,
That's what I
so-
mean. I know that.
Yeah. Typically, yeah, that's why it may have came out a little higher. Okay.
Correct.
Okay, so I mean that makes sense. We can jump into what you kind of qualify for. I mean, let's say that we were able to kind of find you that coverage so that your daughter has that extra left behind, so she doesn't have to worry about any of those bills or anything, and
Yeah.
she has everything covered. How do you kind of see that helping her the most?
Because she's the person that's in charge in case anything happens to me, and if anything that she needs, to have the money to help her out, so it won't come out of her account, her money.
Okay, sounds like you don't want her to spend her own money that she might
No,
use for something
no,
else.
because she's got 2 kids and she's just getting started. She's young.
Okay,
She's
just getting
27,
started. Okay.
and
and you're in California too, right?
yes,
So,
yes,
you know,
Southern California.
inflation and all that. Okay, that makes sense.
Southern California.
Okay. Yeah, me too. Okay, so let's say, I mean, you actually knowing though that you'd be leaving that money behind for her, and she doesn't have to kind of just come up with it like randomly, and she doesn't have to use her own money. I mean, what would
Correct.
that kind of do for you as a mother personally?
For me, that she's taken care of, and whatever needs to be done with it, she can help herself also.
Okay, sounds like it'd give you some peace of mind.
Yes.
Okay, and okay, that makes sense. It sounds like this is important to you. I mean, can I ask though, and I don't want to offend you though, because I've enjoyed our conversation, but what is she gonna do though? I mean, if you don't really get anything in place and you don't really do anything about this.
Well, I'll just play it by ear, and whatever happens, happens.
How would you play it by ear?
Whatever happens, I mean, my cremation is taken care of. So she doesn't have to worry about that.
Okay. All right. Well, if it would help, we can just jump into the health questions. It sounds like this might be able to help. Something like this might work for you guys, so I can go ahead and see what you qualify for really fast and see if it would help you. So I do need to ask you the few health questions.
Okay. So this call lasted another 3 minutes and 15 seconds. I'm assuming after the health questions, he just gave some quotes that probably ended up being just as expensive. Let me fast forward to that and we'll see.
I'll start you off and show you the $10,000 one. So this is for
Okay.
$10,000. You're looking at, for that, it's $127.40. For that, for a $8,000, you're looking at $102.52, and for $5,000, you're looking at $65.20 for that. How do those feel for you?
The one for 5,000 sounds good.
Okay. So how would you like to proceed from here?
Let me think about it and check my account. And call me on Friday.
Would you have time to just check it like today or something? Do you have an online
No,
bank?
I'm on my lunch break.
Oh, okay, sure. Okay, if it's Friday, yeah, what's a good time for you Friday, just so I can put it in my schedule?
About noon, about this time.
Friday came and gone, and the client never answered the phone. So Let's open this up for some discussion. I believe this agent was trying to get the sale in discovery only. The problem with that is even though our prices came in less than the prices she said were too expensive, if this client ends up being primarily price-based focused, then there are plenty of other brokers that may be calling her, asking her for one more quote, and possibly saving her another $20 a month, right? I mean, you just don't know. We have to leave our customers with more than just a price, as well as a rationalization for why she might consider maybe saving, leaving her $5,000 instead of $10,000, educating people on the differences between term and whole life, so they understand that when they get off the phone with you and they now start seeing ads that they could get $10,000 or $20,000 in coverage for $20 a month, they understand why. When you talk to them about the added benefits that the Guardian Society can provide, in addition to the accidental death coverage benefits that go over $100,000 in extra coverage, the terminal illness benefit, like all these other things that help the client remember why they signed up with us in the first place, helps keep your persistency high, right? We're not selling just to get a temporary deal and set ourselves up for a chargeback. We have to walk everybody through the same process. And going back to the fact again that this was not this agent's lead, he did not buy it. It is not up to him or anybody else to decide how you're going to take this call until you prove that you have a 30, 40+% conversion rate, which this agent hadn't closed anything. So in that case, no, it is not up to you or anybody else to decide how you're going to handle these leads. And even if somebody already has their cremation paid for, there are so many other immediate expenses that could come up that have nothing to do with the actual cremation, right? I mean, first and foremost, you have transportation cost. And as we learned in the video I just did about the funeral industry and how corrupt they are, if this woman happened to pass away peacefully in her home and her granddaughter called a first responder to come pick her body up, and the first responder calls the funeral home to arrange transportation, then legally the granddaughter isn't responsible for paying the transportation fees. But is she going to know that if she doesn't have an advocate by her side telling her legally what she should and should not pay for? No. So there's lots of other things where we have the opportunity to create doubt, to offer help and support at somebody's worst possible moments, and we failed to provide any of that, and it was just based on price, and I think a little bit too aggressive in discovery. So those are the ways that you could not have a position on this team anymore. Really, all you have to do is follow the process, attend training, ask for help, and show up the next day and do it all again. If you don't, that will be the results. Most of the people that fail on this team either can't get out of their own way, as I just showed you, or they don't put in enough time to have the success that they want. Really, everybody else who puts in the time and follows the script and is hyper engaged in what we do is on the path for success. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment if you have questions, thoughts, concerns, anything at all. Give this video a like if you found value from it, and I will see you again with another video tomorrow.